Peace and blessings, beloveds. I am Astarius Miraculii, here to offer some frequency on the subject full moon redemption. We are in the resonance of a full moon today. Full moon in Aries went full at 27 degrees of Aries, to be exact, 27 Aries, 26. 27 degrees Aries, 26 minutes in astrological terminology. So I want to talk about what is available to us in the resonance of this full moon energy. Redemption is much like alchemy, where we take something of a lesser nature and we let it or cause it to morph into something that is greater. We're living in very challenging times right now. There's a disturbance in the force of our world at this particular time. And we want to tap into that resonant connection of the divine, the inner divinity within us that gives us the power to transcend all of the difficulties that we are facing. I see you, beloveds, waving at me, and from my heart, I am waving back at you. Thank you for co-creating with me. Thank you for being present in this now moment. We're going to experience some amazing transformation by virtue of this now moment. So as we have this experience in aligning with full moon redemption, we want to be aware of the full definition of who we are. It takes more than the definition of our individual selfhood to define who we are. It takes the whole universe to define that. You are your own version of the universe. I am my own version of the universe. So since the moon is full now in the sign of Aries, I'm going to share with you my rhythm of Aries from my book, Feast of the Zodiac, Wisdom of Astrology. And you can listen for some of the things that are in this poem that would be applicable to some of what we're dealing with in this full moon energy. Incidentally, I'm streaming live simultaneously on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So much love to all of you beloveds in Facebook land, and much love to all of you beloveds in YouTube land. Thank you for co-creating with me. So here is the rhythm of Aries. Thundering down the path of life, one who fears no pain or strife, born leader, daring ram, spirit of Aries, here I am. Enthusiastic way shower, child of flame, healing lamb. Aspiring, striving, enterprising, assertive lover, dramatizing, brilliant, bold, and full of zest, work day and night and never rest. Busybody, won't be still, searching for the greatest thrill, optimistic, want the best of everything, I must confess. In generosity, I bless the world with newness, I replenish. Then sometimes the joke's on me, my start gets stood up by my finish. What hope for the seed of my creation, unless planted in soil of continuation, persistence filled with inspiration, brings about great compensation. Once upon a time and space, my mission was forgotten, lost touch with glory, which I am, and he from whom I am begotten, impulsive, headstrong, driving passion, hard to get some satisfaction, temper, ticking, racing time bomb, choose to let go of these actions. Creative forces transform rudeness, arrogance, jealousy. Now disband. I will win this time. Ascension, resurrect the master plan. This, my soul's divine intention, resurrect the master plan. This, my soul's divine intention. Lord, within me take a stand. calm diplomacy and patience, humbleness, a worthy goal. Replace the counterfeit ego with richest spirit, golden soul. Planet Mars, raging action, changing energy on the run. Be a glorious flaming sun. Learn the power of relaxing. Be a glorious flaming sun, nevermore to jump the gun. Ready, set, go. New day begun. Mellow down. The war is won. I am Aries. So, how do we tap into this Aries energy and utilize it for the benefit of our personal transformation, our personal upliftment? Now, this is a personal energy relative to what we've been going through with the Mercury retrograde. You know, Mercury was, let's say, stationary direct. I don't have it. Well, let's see. Here's my ephemeris here. It's pretty close. The Mercury retrograde actually went retrograde on the 27th of September. And Mercury retrograde is a kind of a technological situation where many things tend to go crazy, technologically speaking. You know, appointments get mixed up. Technology, equipment breaks down, things of that nature. We've been going through a lot of technological issues since Mercury actually went retrograde. And in terms of the direct, let's see, it is, okay, take a quick peep here. Mercury is stationary direct. Actually, it was stationary direct on the 18th, just a couple of days ago. But we're still in the shadow phase because it takes the time that leads from when it goes stationary direct to when it goes to the exact degree that it was when it went retrograde to get completely out of that zone. So the significance is that Mercury went retrograde at 25 degrees of Libra, and this full moon is 27 degrees of Aries, opposite sign of Libra. And so it is oppositionally aligned with that exact retrograde point that took place. So we might be experiencing some of the aftershocks of any of the unusual issues that we've dealt with in this Mercury retrograde frequency, which also was a square to the planet Pluto. So to say the least, it's been a very mental, emotionally challenging time, and a time where the outwardness has been misbehaving. Technology has been a bit mannish. And so with all of that being said, let me just offer a couple of tones to help to facilitate our transformation. And then I'm going to break down some of what all of this means for us. But we want to first be in the affirmation of what it is that we would like to experience through it. These tones are offered for the transformation of all of the adverse energies that we may be facing in our life right now. Mountain heights of heaven's land, we now invoke the master plan. Cause it's our divine birthright, we're giving back our cosmic sight. At dawn of life we were so high, and with the angels we did fly. Now ascend a higher plane, the ancient times come again. In the name of holy peace, all our blessings now increase, our great abundance now comply with power of our single eye. We bless the darkness, make it right, reverse the tide and free the light. Make our power ever pure, else let the power not endure. Love and lift our fellow man and understand the master plan for us. There's simply nothing new except that which we always knew. First I spin a speed of light within, without come now I sight, Almighty Spirit Elohim, truth of this our cosmic dream. Our eye is really singing with light, our bodies do now tingle, our souls are so brand new, we now know all that we once knew. Hear ye, beloved, play not a game of chance. Maintain a lofty attitude to conquer lowly circumstance. Some circumstances seem so bad, though goodness in disguise is up to us to see the good or else be victimized. For if a circumstance seems down and we reject it with a frown, that circumstance is then compelled to pull us down in mental hell. But if we keep our mind on high despite the pain of circumstance, up with our attitude, the circumstance rises beyond its pain, we then advance. Bitter circumstance is as a medicine to bring the wellness of a learned lesson, but we must swallow the medicine down to receive the healing and achieve the blessing. For if we spit the medicine out, life gives another dose without a doubt, and then we become victim of circumstance, a tyrant from which we can't advance until we learn to face it with a smile, drink the bitter cup and go the extra mile, so that all things may be enhanced, because your attitude is more important than circumstance. And so we say unto you, Creator Source, thank you for the awakening of the sacred power within our being, the power of redemption, the power of invincibility, invisibility, and invulnerability, and immunity. By virtue of the divine that exists at the central core of our being, we proclaim our immunity to all of the negativities that exist within life. We recognize, Divine Creator, that you have endowed within us the focalization of the divinity ad infinitum. We embrace the truth that we are our own version of the whole universe. All of the overcoming that exists within the universe ad infinitum is a overcoming that exists microcosmically in each and every one of us. We align with the spirit of victory within us. We align with the spirit of overcoming within us. We align with that which is champion unto our souls as well as the whole of the universe. We bless the darkness, make it right, reverse the tide, and free the light. God, Goddess, make our power ever pure, else let the power not endure. We love and lift our fellow man and understand the master plan for us. There's simply nothing new except that which we always knew. First I, spin at speed of light, within, without, come now aside, mighty Spirit Elohim, make truth of this our cosmic dream. Let there be God, capstone of our souls, unfailing spirit, fulfill our goals. Let there be power in the word of our mouth. We conquer with faith, dissolve fear and doubt. Let there be wisdom as the fuel of our knowledge. Let it be ablaze within our heart. We must be consistent in the game of life, that wisdom may finish what knowledge did start. Let there be love in the work of our hand, our life as a blessing unto God and man and woman. Let there be peace as the wings of our mind, sun of serenity around us shine. Let there be joy of truth bubbling in our souls, dissolver of sadness come make us whole. Let there be abundance raining down upon us, our life be enriched with prosperity. And there is the fulfillment of let there be, for life will always give us, but as far as we can see, let there be, let there be, let there be. And there is, and there was, and there ever shall be. So we are in the divine remembering, beloveds, of our power to effect change and transformation in our lives. When we want to experience the redemption of something, we do so by virtue of acknowledging the divine that exists within the central core of our being, and we invoke change and transformation by virtue of the inner divinity that is there. There is an inner divinity within you and an inner divinity within me that is all powerful, that has the capacity to transcend all difficulties, to transcend all negativity. The energy of Aries, as we are in the full moon in Aries, it can be aggressive, it can be impatient. It's the frequency of the leader. So we're looking at what is the pulse of leadership within us? Are you being the leader that you are meant to be in your own life? Are you calling the shots for your own life and your life's unfolding down the corridors of forever? Or, beloved, are you allowing others to call the shots for you? When we're in the frequency of a full moon in Aries, sometimes we see the shadow of the tyrant energy because there can be an aggressiveness with the energy of Aries. And sometimes that aggressiveness is tyrannical forces that are trying to manipulate and force us to do things that maybe we don't want to do. There's a lot of that going on in the world, a lot of false powers that be that are attempting to force people into doing something that they're not necessarily resonant with, that we're not necessarily resonant with. One of the light expressions of the full moon in Aries is to tap into that individualization of our own selfhood, which is the focalization of our godhood, that is that something within us that has the power to create the unfolding of our reality in the way that we want it to unfold. What is it that we're wanting within our lives? There may be many, many negative things, and yet it is wise not to despise it. We use the dung to fertilize it, for life's greatest connoisseur gets the best crops from the best manure. Fertilizer is glorified shit-doodle, and yet we take fertilizer and dump it onto the soil and yield a richer crop, not so much in spite of the waste, which is fertilizer, but because of the waste. See, it's glorified waste. Anything that is difficulty, anything that is challenging, anything that is wasteful within your life, beloved, can be glorified into fertilizer, where it becomes the means by which you can yield a richer crop from the soil of your own personal life experiences. It is a time for us to recognize the universal resonance of the power that we are. When the moon is full in Aries, opposite the moon is the sun in Libra. Libra represents the will of others. It also represents, in the highest sense, the will of God. So the Libra frequency represents all of our relations and all of the beingness that is, was, or ever will be. With there being this oppositional alignment between the full moon in Aries and the sun in Libra, it means that we, as the individualization of being, Aries, can call forth the microcosmic expression of the universal essence of being. So universal being reflected through Libra. We want to call that into being. That means we want to define who we are relative to our universal beingness. We are more than our individual beingness. We are the whole of the universe. Each one of us, we are by whom the universe has a name. We are by in whom the universe has a home. We are on whom the universe has a face. We are that we are. We, the universe, are. So feel the resonance, beloved, of who you are as the universe. You are a wave in the ocean of life. The ocean is likened to the universe, and the individualization of your being is likened to the individual wave. When you are in the embrace of the truth that you are in truth, the whole of the universe, then you're like a wave in the ocean that is then obedient to the tide of the ocean. And as that wave rolls upon the shores, the entire power of the ocean is in back of that wave. You have, beloved, we have, beloved, I have, beloved, the power to harness the entire force of the universe. You know, within your being is a cell for every man, woman, and child, for every angel and ascended master, for every ocean, mountain, and stream, for every mineral, plant, and animal, for every elemental, star, and galaxy. You are the master cell, the master soul, the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. as we seek to call forth the spirit of redemption, and we call forth the angels and the ascended masters to intercede, to bring forth the divine intercession and intervention in all of the darkness that is taking place within our world. See, we don't have to rectify that. We don't have to redeem that all by ourselves. We are backed by the whole of the universe. We are backed by the entire ascended host, every angel and every ascended master. We are backed by God. God is absolute. But we must stand in the knowingness of that truth. And we want to embrace the reality of that truth. Now, I feel like I want to bring a little bit of didgeridoo in just to amp the energy up a little bit further. And what I'd like for you to do as I bring forth the didgeridoo is to be about alignment with whatever your personal life intentions are, what you intend and what you invoke for yourself individually, but also what you intend and what you invoke for the whole of the world and the whole of the universe. So this is a moment where we can pool our energies together in divine co-creation. So let me get my didgeridoo and let's co-create together through the resonance of the sound vibration, which is a carrier wave of consciousness to help bring about the manifestations that hold importance for us. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh. Yes, beloved, you do have these redeemable qualities. As from Emoji King, I'm looking at there. Yeah. I appreciate you receiving the vibrations and allowing yourself to be moved and transformed. In order to have everything that we want in life, we simply have to remember the oneness of the wholeness of who we are. For beloved, there's only one life in which we all share, and only one love through which we all care, only one being in all that we're seeing. A slumbering giant is what we are freeing. When one is at peace, what a mighty release of breath unto life, that all may increase. Anyone's joy is everyone's right, the wise one's wisdom is the blind one's sight. There is only me in all that I see. The joining of life is what makes me free, and those who achieve in abundance receive is that part of me in whom I believe. When I am a winner, when you are a winner, we honor all life. When I am a loser, all life shares my strife. Before life on this earth and my physical birth, I danced with the angels and knew my true worth. Yet all that I was, I really still am, the God out of heaven, an innocent lamb. If I want to know who I truly be, I seek all that there is, and I will find me. If you want to know who you truly be, seek all that there is, and you will find thee. Beloved, you are the whole of the universe. You are the all that is, microcosmically expressed through the individualization of your being. Come home to yourself. Remember who you are. Remember where you're from. Remember what you're for. Remember you are divine. Remember that you are bigger than any trial, bigger than any tribulation, bigger than any difficulty. Remember that you have the power to pierce to the central core where only light dwells. In the center of pain is nothing but light. In the center of fear is nothing but light. In the center of worry is nothing but light, because the center is the real estate of the Most High. The center is the real estate of your inner divinity. So you want to be the resonance of your center, as it is said of creator source, that God has a center that is everywhere and a circumference that is nowhere. You can't have a circumference around creator source, because creator, like unto the universe, is in an eternal state of expansion. And that's the truth of each and every one of us. We are in an eternal state of expansion because we are the very resonance of the divine. But fear is not in eternal expansion, and worry is not in eternal expansion, and manipulation is not in eternal expansion. And bureaucratic bullying is not in eternal expansion. Let us align together that all of the false powers that be are now dissolving into nothingness. We are very powerful when we bring our collective intention into harmonic convergence. Let us right now, beloved, to bring about the redemption of our world and to bring about the redemption of whatever it is that we need on the individual level. Let's reach now into the future. Let's pre-memorate that future time when our world is no longer in crisis, when there is nothing but a prevailing brotherhood and a prevailing sisterhood and prevailing benevolence from beloved to beloved. And there is a power that is so strong, like unto a peopleocracy, where the resonant connection of the populace is so strong and so powerful and so loving and so wise and so peaceful that we have each other's caboose without being told to do so. We have each other's back because that's the natural thing. We recognize that every being in the whole of existence is an extension of our own self. That's one of the reasons why we don't want to get angry at all of the powers that be, the false powers that be, the darkness, that is hurled, throughout life. And don't despair if you've had some technological issues during this Mercury retrograde, if you've had some mechanical breakdowns. And I had my own personal initiation. My Instagram account got hacked into. I don't even have access to it right now. All of my content is still there, but I got locked out. And I recognize that as my co-creation. For whatever reason, I co-created that experience through which to learn and grow and through which to become even more empowered in the idea, and the intentionality of sharing my message and being a catalyst for the upliftment and the empowerment of everyone. So align with me that Instagram will kind of speed it up in getting back with me, because I have everything I need to confirm that that's my channel, my account. But Instagram's been a bit slow in getting back with me. But it just means that I'm in the sacred pause. I'm not between a rock and a hard place, and I'm not in limbo. I'm in the sacred pause, which is that sacred place of waiting for the clarity of the next step, the next adventure. And know that whenever something seems to be in a hesitation in your life, or it seems to be stifled in some way, you're not between a rock and a hard place, and you're not in limbo. You're in the sacred pause. Even if you don't know what the next step is that you're meant to take, you're in the sacred pause, waiting for the absolute clarity of what step to take into that next adventure. I want to offer some tones, and this tone is for the intention of helping each and every one of us to completely transcend whatever blockages or difficulties there is in your life right now. Align with me for the dissolving of all of the blockages, not just for ourselves individually, but also for the collective. Ride the wings of these tones with me to dissolve blockages, as well as give powerful thrust to that creative energy that we're sending forth to manifest our dreams and our heart's desires. See your life, beloved, being everything that you want your life to be. Feel the resonant connection with all of the benevolent power that is, was, or ever will be, harmonically converged within the inner sanctum of your being a thrust of creation, bringing about the manifestation of your heart's desire. Lord, mine is sacredly drunk now. I'm sure that many of you are sacredly drunk also. So, what I'd like for you to do, if you have some questions that you'd like for me to respond to, I'd love to interact a little bit with you. I'll be tracking with those questions that are coming from YouTube, and I also can see the questions that would be coming from Facebook as well, because I'm live on both YouTube and Facebook. So, what would you like for me to respond to, beloved? Is anything? Somebody said, okay. The beloved said, "Oh, this man is bringing me to tears." Well, I feel so honored that I could bring you to tears, beloved. And we want to learn how to honor our tears. We live in a society that tries to train us away from our feeling nature, but our power is in our feelings. When I cry, I take a tear from each cheek, and I always taste my tears, which is my acceptance of what it is that I'm feeling. But also, tears are coded with information that helps you to more deeply decipher what it is that you're feeling in that now moment. So, thank you for allowing yourself to be brought to tears. And some beloved said, my guru. And isn't it wonderful that the guru is Guru, that there is in the central core of our being that divine resonance that is the epitome of the frequency of guru. And we do have external gurus that tend to be that catalyst for our awakening. And yet the word itself, or the name itself, guru, when you spell it, you get Guru. So thank you for knowing that there is a guru frequency in the central core of your own being. Okay, let me just scroll back a little bit and see here if we had any magnificent. Yes, Jerry Goldstein, I received that acknowledgement, and I invite you to share it full on with me as well. Okay, I was just scrolling back to see if there's anything here to respond to. Okay, so if you have any questions or any something that you'd like for me to respond to, okay, what do I recommend that we focus on during this full moon? That's a great question. Is it Sensu? Yes, thank you, Sensu. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, if I'm not, receive the love with which I honor you. So, with the full moon being in Aries, we're definitely meant to focus upon selfhood. Aries is always about selfhood. Aries represents the first house of the zodiac, and it's the house of creation. It's our marketing plan. The way in which we market ourselves to life and to the universe. So it's like, are you in the authenticity of your own selfhood? When you say yes to something, is it a sacred yes or is it an unsacred yes? If it's an unsacred yes, then it's coming from the shadow of Libra, which is the opposite of Aries, where you're sinking your ship to keep the other person afloat. So it's really about, what does it take to fulfill your divine intention for you? What is it that you want for you? Because that's going to reflect your highest integrity. And Ishel says, many thanks. Ishel Moonstar, many thanks for the frequencies. You're so welcome, beloved, and infinitely worthy. Um, Zybel says, loving the upgrade. I'm loving it as well. And it's an upgrade for me by virtue of your willingness to receive. Um, okay. Okay. What is the name of the gorgeous soul that brings me here today? Can we just hi to her, say hi to her from? I'm not sure who she is, but just for the record, for those that don't know me, I am Astarius Miraculii, loving you with the passion of heaven. Okay, what do I do to up-level my self-worth during this time? That's Zybel, and to feel more deserving of the best. Well, in order to up-level our self-worth, beloved, we must recognize that what it takes to define the worth of who we are is the worth of the whole of the universe. Sometimes we get caught in low self-esteem because we're trying to measure our self-worth by the exclusiveness of our individual being. But we are the all-inclusiveness of the universe. And when we feel the resonance of who we are relative to the all-inclusiveness of the universe, then our self-esteem skyrockets through the roof of the cosmos. See, the universe that you are is infinitely worthy. You see, the resonance of creator source that you are is infinitely worthy of and welcome to any and every blessing that the universe could possibly bring forth. You also up level your self esteem by recognizing that any being that is in an exaltation of self esteem is in actuality your own exalted self esteem by extension. So then you say, oh my God, look at how elevated in self esteem I am through that part of me. Let me link up the telepathic battery cables, my heart mind to their heart mind, initiate the soul jump start. And just like one car jump starts another, when the battery is going down, you then jump start yourself into greater exaltation of self-worth and self-esteem. My self-esteem is your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is my self-esteem. And all self-esteem is our self-esteem. Oh, someone says, my children are learning to play the didgeridoo. Beautiful, beloved. And then there was one thing before that. We said, what is the point of all things being duality if can never become real without also being fake? Well, first of all, anything that is of a fake nature is a resonance of something that is on the surface. Hey, Kelly, I love you. It's that which is on the surface. See, it isn't what is fake can never be the center. So when you pierce to the center of anything that is fake, anything that is fearful, anything that is negative, anything that is hateful, at the central core, you'll find the light and you'll find authenticity. Also, anything that is fake has a shelf life. It has an expiration date. And the point at which the negativity associated with that fake thing is dissolved, it is repurified and then realigns with the central core of that which is divine. The key is we don't want to become angry at the things that are fake. See, if we become treacherous toward the treachery of life, then we're simply pouring treachery upon treachery, like pouring gasoline on a fire. We just make the fire even bigger. So we want to learn how to be in the sacred neutrality when we look at the things that are negative and difficult. Okay. And thank you so much, Sensu Still. And what is the most powerful technique to connect with your spirit guides, ancestors? Uh, Also, is ancestors and spirit guides the same thing? Yes, there is a synergy between ancestors and spirit guides. There's various levels of evolvement. You know, some ancestors are exalted to greater evolvement. Some ancestors have went all the way into the realm of the ascension, you know, having the knowledge of all things. And the way to be more receptive to spirit guides and ancestors is, first of all, you allow the blessedness to flow. See, sometimes we strenuously are trying to receive the blessings, you know, from different things and different experiences, but you don't have to strenuously seek to receive a blessing. You don't have to long for a blessing because you belong to all blessings and all blessings belong to you. And when you're of that awareness, all you do is you just open and you allow the ancestors and the spirit guides and the ascended masters to simply have their way with you, because our ancestors, our spirit guides, and all of the divine ones are always standing right on the threshold, standing at the door of our heart. Let me see, I got something coming in from, let's see, Laura Light. On Facebook. Let's see. Thank you for sharing today. My 7-month-old was entranced by your tones, healing sounds, and wisdom. And yes, that's the wisdom of the little elder. And we want to learn how to be in alignment with the inner child. The most wise, most powerful, most peaceful component of who we are is the little elder, the inner child. The word of God is said to operate at 100 million beats per second. Well, I don't even try to measure how many beats per second the word of God would operate. I would call it infinite, I would say ad infinitum. It is without measurement, just like the nature of God is eternal expansion. The nature of our inner divinity is eternal expansion. So you can't really get a measurement of creator source. You can't get a measurement of our divinity, because the minute you measure it, it has then expanded into something greater. Okay. Kelly says, does that include fake people? Okay, so when a person is operating from the lack, from the inauthenticness of self or the fakeness of self, even in the moment of them out picturing something that is fake and something that is not authentic, at the central core of their being is that which is purely authentic. If a being has breath in their body, then they have the very essence of God, because God is breath hiding in plain sight in the central core of every one of our beings. And when the scripture says that God breathed the breath of life into us and we became living souls, it was in actuality God transmitting a microcosmic focalization of God's own self to be individualized within our being. So we are God in miniature, but qualitatively all that God is. Quantitatively all that God is when we are in acknowledgement of our oneness, of the wholeness. See, that's the only way we can embrace the quantity of creator source, is by proclaiming our oneness with every being that is, was, or ever will be. Just like you can take a wave from the ocean and analyze, or take a wave into the laboratory and analyze it, and every element found within the entire ocean is also found within the one wave. Let's see what the beloved is saying here. I guess this is Laura Light. Thank you. Oh, I already read that one. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, can you explain the ascended masters for me, please? I'm new to the concept and I love it. I just don't understand it yet. An ascended master, in essence, is a being that has come into a state of total enlightenment. A being, an individualization of source, an individualization of being that has taken on the three primary qualities of creator source: omnipotence, all powerfulness; omniscient, all knowingness; and omnipresence, evenly present everywhere at the same time and aware of it. See, an ascended master could walk on the water as the Master Christ walked on the water. Yeshua, yes, you are, or Jesus, Jesus. You see, every miracle that was performed by the Master Christ can be performed by any ascended master. And when we look at the ascension, there's two basic versions of it. There's the celestial ascension, and when a person ascends in the celestial way, they completely lay the body down, and all of the energetics of their spirit ascends into the higher dimensions, and they are no longer hanging out in the materiality of flesh. But there is also cellular ascension, when a person brings all the way down into their flesh, in their cellular matrix, the resonance of total enlightenment, the all powerfulness, of omnipotence, the all knowingness of omniscience, and the everywhere presence of the omnipresence. And then, of course, it's even more than that. And the greatest wisdom about it all is to be in the knowingness that there is a reality of ascended beingness that exists within the central core of each and every one of us. See, each and every one of us are an ascended master. See, there's no such thing as an unascended being. There is a great deal of unascended awareness. We get trapped in the unascended awareness of the fact that we are the resonance of an ascended being. It's like we're playing hide and seek. We're hiding from ourselves when we're in the duality. As it is said that the average person is only using about 5 or 10% of the mind and brain capacity. See, that other percentage of mind and brain capacity represents that resonance of ascension frequency that exists within the central core of each and every one of us. Yes, breath. God is hiding in plain sight as breath. Absolutely. So just want to put out a little bit of a commercial here, and we'll respond to a couple more things, but just to get some of my commercials in. I am Astarius Miraculii. I'm available for intuitive astrological readings, as well as sound healing transmissions with Didgeridoo and vocal harmonics. I also practice and teach Reiki. I am currently, for the third time now, living here in Atlanta, Georgia. I just completed the third time living in Sedona, Arizona. So I am from third charm to third charm. I work with people all over the country and all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you are. We can do some virtual work. And 80% of my clientele is virtual, and maybe 20% or so is in person. So not to worry if you're not in immediate proximity, because we can do amazing transformational work. You can find my phone number. I'll put all of the particulars as to how you can reach me. My website, astarius.com, ASTARIUS.com. Thank you for all of your comments. And also, once again, align with me that Instagram will get on it and get back with me and resolve the issue for my primary Instagram account, which I got hacked into on the 11th of October. So I haven't had access to navigate and post and different things of that, or respond to anybody that's reached out to me. So if you've reached out to me in that way and haven't heard from me, that's the reason. But I am empowered by everything, so I don't begrudge the situation, because I am up-leveled even more so, not in spite of it, but because of it. And I have all the wherewithal to confirm, that that's my account. It's just a matter of the response time of Instagram. So align with me that they'll get some put in their strut, some wings on their butt, and get back with me so that we can continue to rise up on every one of the platforms. Let me see here. Somebody says, I have doubt if you could help me when we have a soul which is alive. Okay, I got the sun in my face, so I'm not getting it fully. Haunts you to take or do things through your body besides love. What can we do to prevent such? This is coming from Facebook. Well, the bottom line, and because I didn't get it all, but I do get the essence of what that was. And I just absolutely see the divinity within you. And I thank you, beloved, for remembering the divinity that is within you, that there is an all-powerfulness that exists at the central core of your being that is invincible, invisible, and invulnerable, and immune to all dark intentions. Anytime there is a successful attack on our being, at some level we have allowed that in. At some level we have allowed ourselves to believe in our vulnerabilities to some negative intention outside of us. But I am seeing the transcendence within your being, and I offer you this tone, and I invite Creator Source and the entire ascended host to portal through this tone to uplift you in that situation. This is for you, beloved, who just asked that question. All is well in the kingdom of your being. I thank you, beloved, so much for joining in with me. Just want to give you a heads up that I am going to be coming into doing regular lives once again. Uh, the live will be called The Alchemy of Redemption. I'll be interchanging the platforms, but it is going to be every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll be sending more information out on that, but I want people to have access to me on a regular basis. I did do a live I did 2 a week for 9 months right after COVID. I did a live on Facebook every Monday and then a live on Instagram every Friday. And I did that for about 9 weeks running. And people really were very much in appreciation for that. And I'm going to bring that back because we do require a lot of healing, and upliftment within our world. And I will do everything that I possibly can, in my own beingness to facilitate our upliftment and our transformation. I love you so much. Thank you for remembering who you are and remembering where you're from, what you're for, and that you're absolutely divine. And what was lost, you have now found. Remember and be walking on wings, riding the bliss ascension brings. Danusi Driamu Awaku. Dance the dream awake. I love you so much.